Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the National Timely Action Hour. This is the show where we talk about everything from comic books to movies and everything in between. My name is Aiden, and I hope that you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to be doing a review of the Fantastic Four Volume 1, issue number 275. This was a book that I purchased at Toronto Fan Expo 2025 for 19 Canadian dollars, and you might be thinking, for one single issue of the Fantastic Four, that seems like a lot of money. It would be, yes, but this is a very famous cover. It has She-Hulk and a character who looks suspiciously like Stan Lee, and it is a very fun slice of life story that predominantly features She-Hulk, but the other members of the FF are in the epilogue, which I'll get into. But this is during the time where it was after Marvel Superhero Secret Wars. Check out my review of that. And at the end of that story, the Thing decides to stay on Battleworld because he can change back into his human form there. And so She-Hulk joined the Fantastic Four because they needed a strong person.
Let me guess, big boy, you're the Thing.
Yeah, well, I'm Ben, Mr. Grimm. Hey, listen, I already got a girlfriend.
Either way, you look hunky enough to share.
And also, She-Hulk's book was canceled, so it made sense. But this was written and illustrated by John Byrne. I love his work. I'm a big John Byrne fan, and this is a pretty funny story. Although, you know, there are some bits that are like, but that's just my personal taste. But essentially, She-Hulk is having a day off, and she's sunbathing on the roof of the Baxter Building. And then suddenly a helicopter comes, and the wind from the helicopter blades sends her clothes and towel flying, and so she is exposed, and a person inside the helicopter takes photographs of her naked body, and She-Hulk spends the entire issue tracking down this guy who is the guy on the cover, and he owns a nudie magazine called The Naked Truth, which is also the name of this issue. And so TJ Vance is the guy's name. So Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, and her boyfriend Wyatt Wingfoot, who is a character who I've mentioned before in my review of Fantastic Four number 52. Check that out, because Wyatt is Johnny's old college roommate and good friend, and he and Jennifer started dating after Wyatt came back to New York to, you know, reconnect with Johnny. And she and Wyatt go to this guy's office, try to convince him not to publish the photos, and he's like, nah, I got, you know, my First Amendment rights, and she's a public figure, won't stop me from publishing the photos. I'm gonna be making millions off of this. And she decides to crush his safe as retaliation, because she tries going, you know, Jennifer Walters is a lawyer, and she tries going through the legal system. You know, first she wants to talk it out with him, you know, mano y womano, but she is discouraged, and she crushes his safe, and she's like, well, that sucks, can't get him to stop it. But in the epilogue, we learn that because of a coloring error, the photos look like a, you know, normal Caucasian woman. And so they make a joke about how Hulk used to be gray. Check out my review of The Incredible Hulk number 1 to get that. But yeah, it's just a fun slice of life story, although it does make me a little uncomfortable with the way that the guys that the guy TJ and the guy he hires to fly him over there, they make a lot of misogynistic comments which make me uncomfortable, but you know, for the most part it's a fun story, and it shows She-Hulk, you know, having to deal with this issue, and you know, it shows us her lawyer side, and we get some great chemistry between her and Wyatt, building up their relationship. And also there's a subplot, because in the previous issue, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, and Alicia Masters hook up, but Alicia was dating Ben, but we'll all deal with. Check out my review of Fantastic Four. Nobody gets out alive to see the fallout of that. But yeah, and also in the epilogue we get a tease for the next issue. But yeah, here is some of the art. Like I said, I'm a big fan of John Byrne's art style. I think he is great. You can also check out my review of The Man of Steel by him, which is the post-crisis origin of Superman. But here is Jen and Wyatt at the office of the magazine, and here we get the reveal that she's She-Hulk, and his toupee falls out. And here is the epilogue where Sue and Reed are wondering about their son and what's going to happen to him in the future. Again, that's teasing the next issue. Then Johnny comes in with the magazine and is like, look, they made an error. And also, Johnny's like, I've got some green tinted sunglasses. Let me go to my room and take a gander at this. And Jennifer's like, and in the letters page we see how the story was pitched to John Byrne. But yeah, that is issue 275 of the Fantastic Four. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being horrible and 10 being fantastic.
Say that again?
I would have to give this a 7.5. It's not horrible, but it's not amazing. And you know, there are some parts that make me feel uncomfortable, but that's just my personal taste. You might disagree with me. But if you do agree or disagree, let me know in the comments section and tell me your thoughts on this and suggest any future videos you'd like to see. And if you're new to my show, want to check out more videos like this, please subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when I post my new videos. If you enjoyed it, click the like button, and if you're on your mobile device, please hype this video. And in the description you'll find the links to my social media profiles as well as my podcast, and you'll also find the links to my Patreon page and merch store. So if you'd like to support this show financially, I greatly appreciate that. And please subscribe to my podcast and share that with your friends if you'd like to hear me discuss the same topics but not on video. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and I sincerely hope that you all have a great rest of your day. Bye.